Here at the Giver Marketing Network, we don't leave you drifting out in space. We connect you to a coach who will help you build and grow your marketing business. Our process acts as a guide on how to connect with other businesses, maintain good relations, and establish a presence on the Giver Marketing Network. Each member within this collaborative group will have the opportunity to leverage your talent and influence, a true network effect. If you are looking to collaborate on more projects, welcome to the Giver Marketing Network, the most trusted and highest rated collective of specialists on the planet. Here we have a group of like-minded professionals who focus on making valuable introductions and helping each other grow by teaming up. Imagine Upwork meets a network and a coach. The talent collectively includes services like visibility and SEO, creating logos, designing websites, managing social media, outreach messaging, visual storytelling, and much more. Think of what you could do with laser-focused allies, strengthening your business while offering your talent to the entire network. Click near this video for more information.
Hello and welcome to another Giver Marketing broadcast. We're excited today. Big shout out to all of our followers out there and some of the groups we're posting in. I'm Selling with Dignity, Entrepreneurs Community, Prepared Group, all of our partners out there, Unicorn Universe, H7. We have so many places we love to play. So if you want to partner with us, reach out. We'd love to partner with you. My name is Christine Deane and I am Team Director at Giver Marketing. And I'm excited because we have Jon Logan back. Hey, Jon.
Hey, Christine, you got me back. What can I say?
I did. We talked you into it. Popular demand. They said, we need more Jon in our life. I said, okay, let's get him back on the show. And here he is because he did such a phenomenal job last time helping us with our marketing. So today we're diving into even more fun stuff. But those that didn't get to see the last episode and don't know who you are, Jon, let them know a little bit about you.
So I'm a nerd, to sum it up pretty quickly, but I'm a marketing nerd and a business nerd. I was born and raised in Florida. My family's from South Carolina, but I was born and raised in Florida near the Space Coast. So I'm big into rockets and space and all that stuff naturally, growing up there. Worked in food service for about 8 years, was able to go to school, went to the University of Central Florida for cybersecurity. So I came out of there, got a job as a cybersecurity engineer. Mixed experience, and decided I wanted to work for myself. So started my very first company, which was an email security SaaS product. Didn't end up going to market because a very large email security competitor came up with a new thing, which was exactly like what we had conveniently. And I was like, I don't want to get stuck in court for a decade. So when that company closed, I was approached by some of our partners and they're like, hey, we loved your branding and marketing and your strategy that you did for your company. Would you help us with ours? So I ended up opening this boutique marketing and strategy consulting company. And that's kind of where we're at now. So I have this interesting technology background that has now morphed into like marketing and specifically marketing strategy.
So we've got marketing meets strategy, meets tech, meets, and just everything all together. Oh my goodness, that's going to be fun. I know I was in love with what your last presentation was about. What are we talking about today?
So last time we talked about how your marketing should work like a car, and I use my own framework that's called the marketing machine. In that presentation, we talked a bit about marketing strategy as like the steering of your car. So I have a framework that I've been using for my clients for the past 4 or 5 years on how to do marketing strategy. So as a marketing professional myself, I actually teach other marketers how to use the framework in their own businesses to serve their clients, especially with AI and everything going on. And people are kind of moving away from like website building and social media management and throwing everything at AI. How can marketing service providers continue to stand out? And I believe that's strategy. So we're here to talk about my marketing strategy framework.
Ooh, I'm excited. Let's talk strategy. I love strategy. Let's see.
So the idea of this concept is how to lead, plan, and think like a marketing strategist using what I call the growth marketing strategy framework. Let me make sure my slides are working. There you go. So have you ever worried that your clients only see you as a tactician? They only see you as someone who's going to build their website, who's going to do their SEO, who's going to run their ads. If yes, It's probably because you don't have a repeatable strategy framework where you can position yourself as a marketing strategist in their eyes. That's where the growth marketing strategy framework comes in. But first, let's define marketing strategy. Marketing strategy, like I mentioned a little bit, is like the steering of your car. So you got to think about your marketing running like a car. You have all these different pieces, everything's working together to go forward, to push us forward. And your marketing strategy is the steering of that car. It's the steering. It's not your tires. It's not your engine. It's not, whatever else. It's the steering of your car is your marketing strategy. So steering is all about knowing where you want to go and how you're going to get there. Strategy is knowing where you want to go and how you're going to get there. And then using your expertise as a marketing professional, as a branding person, as a whoever, to help make the right pivots and decisions to ensure success and the growth of the company you're working for. So you can create a marketing strategy roadmap that helps you, the marketing professional, be the driver for your client's marketing using the 6-step growth marketing strategy framework. So what is growth? I know I've said this a bunch of times. There's a bunch of gurus out there like, oh, I'm a growth marketer. I'm a growth marketer. Like, okay, no, you're not. You're an ads person that smells like slime and vomit. You're terrible. You're not a growth marketer. Growth, when we're talking about growth strategy, is an acronym. So it's GROWTH, and it all builds on top of itself. It's a process that we walk through, 6 steps that we start from the ground up in order to build something that will take our clients to the next level. So growth is an acronym. We start with our goals. Where do you want to go? Where's the client want to go? Where do we want to go with their marketing? Then we look at their revenue. What do you want to sell? What is the client trying to sell? Because you're selling a product or service, or maybe you're selling, donors on something if it's a nonprofit. But you have to have something specific that you're selling. Do you look at the opportunities? What opportunities do you have for marketing to help you get the best ROI? That's really, really important because a lot of marketers kind of just throw like spaghetti against the wall and hoping it sticks. We want to be very intentional on identifying and leveraging the opportunities to help us sell more of what we want to sell to hit our goals.
I love this. All right. If you've got your camera out, take a screenshot of that right there because that's gold, right? You want to make sure you grab that or start writing notes furiously.
Yeah. throw the transcript of this.
Get out your pen and paper, right?
throw the transcript of this into ChatGPT. Pull it all out.
There you go.
That's usually what I do, actually.
Create the Jon Logan growth method guide.
I actually do have a growth ChatGPT bot that if you email me, I will send to you, but we can get that to later. Then you got to look at, so we've looked at our goals, we've looked at our revenue, we've identified what opportunities we have. Then we look at, okay, what assets do we have? What do we need to leverage? What assets do we need to leverage to identify these opportunities to sell what we're trying to sell to hit our goals? It all builds on top of each other. And this is what assets do you have now? What assets do you have or do you need to leverage these opportunities that you don't have? And then what do you already have that we can optimize for some quick wins? Then we're looking at timeline. If you kind of go through this process, you're going to end up with a whole giant list of to-dos. You're going to have this giant to-do list. Okay, I got to work on the messaging, and then got to redo the website, and I got to upgrade this, and I got to make this graphic. Okay, you're going to have a million things to do. Now you need to organize it into logical phases. What's phase 1? What's phase 2? What's phase 3? What are we building? How are we building it? And then you got to look at the hurdles. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. I mean, we have some really great examples recently of really, really terrible marketing coming out. Like there's like ads, like the Jaguar ad got a lot of hate because it like didn't even tell you that they were selling cars. And then you have like the Cracker Barrel rebrand where people hated it because it was rolled out so terribly. How they did not go through this process because they did not plan for that to be taken so badly, clearly on how they handled it. So you need to look at, okay, if we roll out a rebrand, if we're pushing for this product and they hate it, or let's say we have a massive recall of something, like we just got a recall on car seats I saw the other day I got a notification from Amazon. How is that company going to handle the hurdles of when something goes wrong? So we're going to kind of go, that's kind of overview. Let's go through each one a little bit in depth. So we always start with goals. When you're working with a client, you sit down, the very first thing you say is, okay, what do you want? What are you looking to do? Where are you trying to go? So why do you start with goals? Goals give direction and purpose to every action, task, and decision in your marketing efforts. If you know where the customer's goals are, then you, as the marketing strategist, as the consultant, be like, all right, cool. Here's the goal. We need to do this to hit that goal. I don't want, well, the customer might start arguing with you. Wait. This is your goal that you want. If you want to do this, we have to do this. So it gives you direction and purpose. So another thing about why you want to start with goals is people who set written goals are significantly more likely to achieve them versus those who don't. Research indicates that this can increase the likelihood of success by up to 43%. So if you can sit down with the customer, clarify their goals, write it down, you are 43% more likely to succeed. Like, that alone is worth just sitting down and doing it. But then also you get better performance. Specific challenging goals can lead to better employee performance, with some studies showing up to 90% improvement. This is a great way to rally the team, especially for me when I do lots of fractional CMO work. If I come in, they usually have an existing marketing team. I'm like, all right, cool, guys. We talk to the owner. We talk to their leadership team. Here's where we're going. Here's our goals. Marketing team, here's where we're going. And you just kind of beat the drum of here's where we're going. Here's where we're going. They're going to perform better because they want to be part of this vision. And 90% improvement by creating a clear goal that's written down for everybody. I mean, come on. That's
shared goals, right?
Shared goals. And you get higher satisfaction. People who set difficult and audacious goals, right? You kind of want to have here's our minimum, here's our ideal, and here's our stretch goal. If you set difficult, audacious goals, often report higher job satisfaction compared to those with less challenging objectives. People want to feel like they're doing something, like they're moving forward, like they're really pushing into the next level. So why start with goals? You rally the client's team, you help getting the job done, and you're making the client happy. It's simple. You start with goals first. Then we look at revenue. So we have our goals. This is our North Star. This is where we're going, right? This is the destination on your roadmap. Now we look at revenue. In order to look at revenue, when I say this, we're performing a revenue assessment because we need to find out what we want to sell. We'll hit that twice. It's a very simple process of performing a revenue assessment. Sit down and ask your customer, how do you make money? What products and services do you have? Then you ask these two critical questions. Which product has the highest profit margin? Okay, you kind of work your way down from there, rank them all. Okay, which products have the shortest sales cycle? Meaning it doesn't take forever to sell. In my security company, which most people don't know me for this, so I don't want to go off on that rabbit trail, but I own a cybersecurity company. And in that company, it typically takes us anywhere from 8 to 10 months to close our core offering, like we call it our partner project. That's a long time. It takes me 2 hours to close a security assessment. Usually one conversation to close a paid security assessment. And that can be anywhere from $200 to $5,000, depending on the needs of the company that we're working with. I'm not going to be pushing and marketing that big partner plan. Like, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be pushing security assessments because I have a higher profit margin because it's way less time, way less products, way less, tools I have to use. And it's an extremely shorter sales cycle. So talk to your clients and figure out what has the highest profit margin with the shortest sales cycle. And just doing this will uncover so much dirt. You're going to find so much dirt. Like, oh, we have like 20 loss leaders. I hate the concept of loss leaders, but that's a whole nother rant. We have all these loss leaders. We have all these things that we're selling and that we're giving away. Like, cool. But what are you selling? What's making you money? Because if you're doing marketing, marketing needs to be making you more money. So you need to find what has the shortest sales cycle with the highest profit margin. I was doing this strategy work with a financial advisor recently. I asked him that question, what has the shortest sales cycle with the highest profit margin? He's like, annuities. Cool. Let's make you the annuities guy. Can you upsell from annuities? Oh yeah, that's easy. Cool. Let's do annuities. And so we've been marketing only annuities. His whole branding, everything is built around annuities, and he's already seeing momentum. And we haven't
right, and then everything else is an upsell, right? What can you get in the door with easily that you've now built the confidence with the customer? They're like, oh, wow, I'm getting results right away. This looks great. I'm having an impact on my bottom line and my finances, right? Mm-hmm. You've built that trust with them, and guess what? They come back to you for more, right? So now you're establishing yourself as that trusted strategist.
Exactly. And they're like, oh, this person, this gal, this girl, they know what they're doing. Okay. So then after we have our goals, right? We have our North Star. Now we know what product or service we're pushing that has the shortest sales cycle with the highest profit margin. Now we need to figure out, okay, where and how are we going to market this thing? So in marketing, I make the argument that there are 3 types of opportunities every brand has for growth. There's amplification opportunities, optimization opportunities, and differentiation opportunities. Every marketing opportunity can be classified in one of these 3 categories, and I will fight anybody on this. Amplification is how can you get in front of as many of your ideal prospects as possible. So this can be done through ads, it can be done through sponsorships, it can be done through strategic referrals. Like Christine is the queen of, connections. Christine is actually an amplification opportunity for my business, which is why I'm going to spend time with Christine, because she's valuable and I can reach a lot more of my ideal prospects talking with her. Right. And I can get referrals and I can give her referrals, and it's a great relationship. It's an amplification relationship because it's one to many. Optimization opportunities are what can we fix and make better to make it more efficient and more effective. Right now, a lot of optimization opportunities come in the form of AI integration. If you're not using AI and automations in your marketing and your processes, then this is where you're getting left behind. And maybe you need to build out your CRM. Maybe you need to just have an automatic email nurture sequence. I was talking to the owner of a company that just had a $200 million valuation. They do not have any automated nurture sequences in their business. None. And they have over 90,000 people that they have not talked to in the past year that put in an inquiry form, maybe hopped on a sales call, maybe, and then they never heard from them again. That's a huge optimization opportunity. Maybe we don't even need to be focused on selling something. We just need to be focused on what you already have. Sometimes
Absolutely.
you'll figure that out here.
Yeah, that's huge, really. And it's not uncommon. You'll see businesses that are so focused on getting those new leads that they don't know what to do with them when they've got them. They don't have any nurturing systems in place. I was just on a call with one of my international clients last night, and we just had this conversation. Yep. He's like, I need to run ads. I'm like, hold on. Yep. Before you run those ads, right? Do you have all the systems in place to support that? Do you have nurturing sequences to get them on a call with you? Do you have, right? And he's just looking at me like, oh, right. There's a lot missing, right? And we want to jump, right? Oh, I just need to run ads. No. You got to put everything in place before you start running those ads. You're just spending that ad money and pouring it down the toilet, right? So
yes, exactly. And so many businesses don't understand that, but we as marketers, we understand that intuitively, which is why when we have a framework like the growth marketing strategy framework, we can sit down, we plug in what we already know into a process, so that way we can walk our customers through it as well, so that way we can end up selling them as a strategist, because we're already marketers. We already know these things intuitively, but when we have the process, it's more for the customer than for us. Now, optimization is typically, tools, products, process, people sometimes, and then a lot of it right now is AI. Also, it can be like your messaging. Most businesses' messaging is terrible. You should optimize your messaging. You should actually talk to your customers like they're your customers, not like they work at your business. A lot of employers, a lot of businesses talk to their customers as if they were their employer. Because like, oh, you already know all the inside language. You already know what we're talking about. No, I don't. I don't know you. Like, there's a roofing company here. I pick on them a lot because they're easy to pick on. Their logo is horrendous and their messaging is terrible. And I go onto their website and it's like, we've been putting on, roofs in this area of South Carolina, because that's where I'm at, for the past 30 years. I'm like, good for you. My mom had a tree fall through her kitchen. How are you going to help me? I don't care that you've been around for 30 years. That's something you say in your recruiting material when you're trying to get new employees, not what you say to your customers. So what can you optimize? And there's a lot there. And then differentiation. How can you be different than all of your competition? 99% of businesses have competition. I ran into 2 businesses recently that are literally the only one in their niche. But that's not going to last for very long. How are you going to be different than your competition? My favorite example of differentiation opportunities is the Savannah Bananas. I don't know if you're familiar with them, the baseball team.
No, tell us more about the Savannah Bananas.
Okay, so Savannah Bananas was founded by a gentleman named Jesse Cole, and he walks around in a yellow tuxedo, and it is fantastic. The Savannah Bananas is now a whole baseball league where they build entertainment into the game. And people are like, well, game's already entertaining. No. These people are like doing backflips and trick shots and dancing to music in the middle of the game. It's wild. It's wild. It's so different. They have their own, it's called the Banana Ball League. It is insane.
So it's like retrospect from Harlem Globetrotters, right? Where they were doing fancy things with the balls and the, yeah.
Yes. So it's a very, they took a lot of inspiration from the Harlem Globetrotters. And what was the other one? I saw a video they referenced the other day. It was like the Charlottesville Clowns or something like that. It was another goofy baseball team. But the Savannah Bananas is so different in baseball that everyone's paying attention to them. They have books now. They have merch. They have a fanatical following. They've been selling out NFL stadiums of fans across the country to go watch Banana Ball because they're so different. Like people aren't running around in a yellow tuxedo like dancing while playing baseball. How can your brand, how can your company be different in a good way, not in a bad way, in a good way than everybody else? So you as the marketer, you're going to sit down with your client and be like, okay, what amplification opportunities do we have? Who do you know? How can we help you? Like, what can we get? How can we get you in front of as many people as possible? What can we optimize? What do you have now? What are the gaps? And how can you be different than your competition? This is especially huge for trade businesses. Trade businesses, it's Joe and Sons Plumbing, Joe and Sons Electrical, Joe and Sons. It's like, you're all lame. I'm sorry. All of you are lame. Your branding is terrible. It's like coffee shops. Coffee shops, another one. I had a whole video rant on this the other day. Like all of you have this modern, minimalistic, bland, urban cafe vibe. You're all boring. You're all the same. Why do I care about urban cafe on 5th versus urban cafe on 12th? Like, and you're not a franchise. You just all look the same. You need to be different. You need to find ways that you can optimize what you have. You can get in front of as many of your ideal customers as possible and be different than everybody else. And it's your job as the marketer to help them identify these opportunities. Now we have to look at what assets you have. So we have identified our goals. Where are we going? We've identified what product or service we're selling with the best profit margins and the shortest sales cycle. We've looked at what opportunities they have. How can we put them in front of all these people so that way we can start selling more of what we're trying to sell to them? Now you have to look at what assets. And what assets is a 3-part question. What assets do you have right now? What assets do you need to leverage the identified opportunities? And what assets can you optimize now for quick wins? A lot of businesses will have kind of fragmented pieces. So what assets do you have now? Do you have a website? Okay, is it terrible? Yes, usually. Yes. Okay, so we can optimize that, and that's a quick win. Like renovating the website, you get good messaging on there, you build out a customer journey map that includes your website actually being part of this. That's going to be a quick win because you're going to start getting leads from your website. What assets do you need to leverage your identified opportunities? Let's say you have some friends that are in broadcasting and you're really, really good at being on camera. Okay, maybe you need to talk to them about getting on their early morning, show to promote your garden company. Like there's a million different ways that you have these assets. And I classify assets into 2 categories. You have hard assets and soft assets. No one laugh at that. Your hard assets are your tactile things. That's going to be, your employees. That's going to be your tools. That's going to be your, I have a billboard. Like, what are your hard assets, your tangibles? Your soft assets are your intangibles, which are basically your soft skills. What's your network like? What are your interpersonal skills like? Who do you know? Can you talk well? Do you have good relationships with people? Identify what assets do you have now? What assets do you need to leverage the identified opportunities to help you sell more of what you want to sell so you can hit your goals? And then what assets can you optimize now for quick wins? And as a marketing strategist, it is important that you find some quick wins for your customers. Because if you're selling, 30, 60, 90-day packages, your customer's going to expect something. They're going to want to see something. And if you don't have some things that you fix and you optimize a few things and you start to make things run better quickly, they're going to probably not renew with you. So that's really important.
It is. And I think that's one of the things you hit on with strategy that you run into problems with marketers is a lot of times they're not helping their clients identify those quick wins.
Right.
And so they're focusing on something that they think is important. And you're like, yeah, but the client really they want to make money. So if you're not doing things that are going to hit that bottom line, you're not going to be sticking around very long. So you got to balance out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Between the things that they need versus the things that, they really need.
Right.
Prioritizing.
And when you have a process like, hey, here's my marketing strategy process, it makes it easier for your customers to go along with you and not argue with you as much, because they are like, oh, here's a marketing strategy process. They're helping me with this. Cool, I'm gonna go with that. It makes it so much easier and simpler. That way you can avoid a lot of the, well, I think we should do this, or I think we should do this, or the customer DIYing stuff behind your back, which happens all the time. You can avoid a lot of that when you have, here's our process that we're walking through, and then here's what we're going to do after. Now we look at timeline. So we looked at our goals, our revenue, our opportunities, what assets do we have? Now we got to look at timeline. What this means is, by the time you get to this point, you have a million things to do. A million things to do. So with that giant to-do list, you as the marketing professional, you will need to know what comes first, what comes second, and what builds on that foundation. So you need to organize your tasks, organize your to-do list into logical, chronological phases. That means phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 1, we're going to look at your messaging. We're going to tweak some of your branding. We're going to, build out your customer journey map and simplify your product ladder. Phase 2, we're going to build out your automations and your landing pages and your nurture sequences. And phase 3, we're going to create a social media campaign to push to our lead generators, to fill back into the website, to fill their funnels. We as marketers understand these things. So when you see all this giant to-do list, you got to organize it into logical, chronological phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. That is a strategy deliverable. So when you're sitting with your customer, hey, we finish our timelines. Now we know what we got to do. Here's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Here's our phase 1 plan. Here's phase 2 and phase 3. You can see that. Here's phase 1, what we're working on right now.
Right. And a lot of times your customers don't know the priorities, right? Which needs to happen first, or they don't even know something exists. Oh, that's a thing, right? So helping them with those priorities really is your role as the strategist, is helping them figure that out.
Exactly. And then once you get that together, you deliver to them, here's your 3-phase marketing strategy. Like anytime I work with a customer, here's our 3-phase marketing strategy, because it's something that they can see, they can hear, they can think about, they can touch, because I also give it to them physically. So they're like, okay, I paid for this, right? Because too many marketers are selling something, strategy, as this intangible, like, oh, you're buying strategy, Okay. Customers don't know what that means. And they're too busy running their businesses to figure out what your definition is. So when you create something that is tangible for them, that they can easily understand, a 3-phase marketing strategy, this is our roadmap, this is where we're going and how we're going to get there, that is super powerful for them.
Absolutely. You think about clear expectations in any relationship is so important. So until you can clearly lay out what the expectations are, they're wondering, they're guessing, they're feeling like, should I be confident? Should I feel kind of unsure about this, right? As soon as you make that solid phase 1, 2, 3, right? It all makes sense to them, right? Exactly. Now they're not calling in, well, did this happen? Are we doing this? Are they right? Because they know, no, that doesn't happen until the next phase. Right?
Exactly. And it's so simple, because if people start asking questions, look back at the strategy plan, look back at our 3-phase strategy. Here's a strategy. We talked about this. This is a phase 3 thing, not a phase 1 thing. And it makes it easier for you. It makes it easier for them, helps manage expectations, and then also lets them understand what you're doing and why.
Absolutely. And a cheat sheet, right? Because a lot of times they'll hire a specialist to come in and do a whole report and end up with this big, long stack of things that nobody's ever going to read. It's going to sit on a shelf somewhere, right? So, having something that's actually usable, understandable, with the cheat sheet in the front so they can see where they're going and go someplace to another page for more details, that's okay, right? But you got to make it understandable for the clients also.
Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, I can take my 3-phase strategy for the client and make it on 1 page. It becomes a 1-page like strategy roadmap for the next usually 90 days. Like, here's our 90-day marketing strategy. Here's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. It's on 1 page. We're done. Got my logo on the bottom. That's it. Just makes it easy. So the last piece is now we have the framework. We've been through the framework. We have, like, here's our strategy. Here's our roadmap. But now you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. What's going to go wrong? Because it will go wrong.
Something will go wrong. Yes.
Something will go wrong. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. So you need to proactively plan how you'll pivot and overcome the hurdles that are going to come up in the execution and rollout of your strategy. Maybe you think it's going to take 3 weeks to renovate a website. That can happen. Maybe your customer absolutely hates everything you do, and now it's going to take 6 weeks. Okay. If this takes longer, what are we going to do? Maybe you go through 3 renditions of a new logo because they have something trash. You're trying to renovate it for them, and then they hate it all, and now they've used up all of their, they get three. You make 3 different styles. They pick one. They get 2. I'm blanking on the term. Like 2 renovations of that logo concept before they have to pick one. Maybe they get to the end and they're just like, you know what, scrap this. I want to change the name of the company. Like, okay, how are you going to do that? Maybe you get banned off of Facebook. Right? Like that happens. Maybe your ads account gets shut down. What are you going to do? How are you going to proactively plan to overcome that problem?
I often say it's how fast can you pivot?
Right.
Determines your success.
Yes. And if you proactively plan how you're going to pivot, that will dramatically increase that process.
Absolutely.
If you plan it, you can pivot faster. Like maybe you roll out a rebrand for some very, very unnamed, large, humongous restaurant breakfast chain that no one's ever heard of. And everyone hates it and hates you because you did it. How are you going to fix that? How are you going to get your customers back? How are you going to get that loyalty back and get the trust?
Yeah, I was just thinking about the, what was it? Oh, Canva, when they went to raise their prices. Oh, there was outrage and they ended up rolling it back and saying, we're not going to do it. Sorry, our bad. But
right.
Man, did they get a lot of lashback from their loyal followers, right?
Right. And like how many of them left Canva and won't be back?
Yeah. So they really, when you make major changes and you haven't really prepped people for it, you better have a plan for rolling things back if it doesn't go like you planned on it too.
Yep. And I've seen it happen even with like the best marketers in the world. I've seen them make changes in their business that they did not roll out well that end up losing, 20, 30, 40, 50% of their company because they did not do it well. So how you need to proactively plan. What if it can't go wrong, it will go wrong. So how are we going to do this? And I usually find that when we get to this part, the customer is like, well, you're just like a doomsday naysayer. Like I respond, I hope so. I hope I am a doomsday naysayer. None of this happens, but some of it will probably happen. Like I've never rolled out a strategy and it went seamlessly ever, not even once. So how can you proactively plan how you're going to pivot and overcome? And it's your job as the marketing expert to know how can we do this and how are we going to overcome these problems. So these 6 steps, goals, revenue, opportunities, what assets, timeline, and hurdles, offer a proven process for developing, consulting, and coaching with marketing strategy. So I've done this in one-on-one coaching. I've used this framework for fractional CMO gigs. I've done strategy workshops where we just walk through the growth framework as, I can do it with 10, 20 businesses in the same room, or I can do it as an executive team. And ongoing strategic retainers. I have a couple clients. I come in once a quarter and I check in with their team. Hey, how did this last quarter go? Because this is the contract. How did the last quarter go? What went wrong? What went well? Cool. Let's walk through the framework again and make the next 90 days. The framework works because it's a proven process that's simple to understand for both the marketer and the client. And it allows the marketers to leverage their expertise in a way that is digestible by who they're trying to sell to. It's like one-on-one coaching. It's great. Fractional CMO is great. Workshops is great. It makes strategy easy.
Well, and I love about this strategy is that it applies not only to large businesses, small businesses, medium businesses, solopreneurs. It doesn't matter what the business is, nonprofits, right?
Yep.
You can follow this strategy and you're going to see more success and better results.
Exactly. And it's really just taking what we know as marketers and organizing it into something simple. Because we'll know all these things intuitively, but when we have a framework to fit it in, that's where I think we can be excellent. So my thing is I have a spring cohort where I'm training marketers how to become a growth marketing strategist. It's an 8-week program. We take you from being a tactician to being an invaluable marketing strategist. We teach you this framework in depth. I give you all my tools. I give you all my proposal sheets. I show you, here's how I've sold it. Here's the packages I've had. Here's how we do this, walking through it. So if that's something that is interesting to anybody listening or watching to this, you can apply at greenlitgrowth.com/do-strategy or scan the QR code. And I'd love to see you there.
I love it. So get your phone out, right? Scan that, get that open. Okay, here we go. Make sure that works. And so you want to be able to check that out, right? So here we go. I got it right here. Oh, yeah.
And when you apply, you can get a free coaching call with me, one-on-one. So even if you don't want to be a marketing strategist and you just want to be like, hey, John, I want to pick your brain, that's also fine.
There it is, applied today right there, right? So find out more about that. This is an option. We saw how it just intuitively made sense, right? Walking through those steps, it just made sense. And that's what it is. Your clients need something they can understand. You need something where you have, basically it's like checkoffs, right? Did I hit this? Yes. Did I hit that? Right? It just makes the whole process a little bit smoother, getting organized. That's why everybody has the same expectations. I love how your mind thinks, Jon.
Thanks.
I'm a big fan. You know that. I was just thinking about, we've got some comments. Timothy Morgan's tuning in and watching. He's saying, I love Savannah bananas.
Yeah. Bananas are great.
So he was appreciating that one. Yeah, I love this straightforward approach. And it's very, I'm going to say client centric, right? It's giving them what they want and what they need. And sometimes they don't always know what that is. That's why they have us.
Exactly. I mean, if we are the marketing professionals and they're trusting us to help them grow their business. So I think it's our responsibility to do that to the best of our ability.
Yeah, I'm going to take that link. I'm going to drop it into the comments so people can also just kind of click on that there. So let's see. We're saying it's the do strategy, right?
Yep, greenlitgrowth.com/do strategy.
All right. So the do strategy is to become a marketing strategist. Is that right?
We help you do strategy.
Okay. That's what I'm going to put in here. So assuming I spell everything correctly. All right. We're going to send that out right now. So people can just click on that when they're watching, even watching this in replay, they can just click on that and know where to go. The other thing is for those that haven't connected with you on LinkedIn, right? That's a great place to get to know you and reach out and want to have a little conversation, right? So I'm going to encourage people to go ahead and friend up with you on LinkedIn. So I guess it's connect up, right?
Yeah, connect, follow, connect, like and subscribe. I don't know.
Yeah, there's techie terms on this somewhere, but let's all be friends. That's always my philosophy on everything. So
solid is good.
So
yeah, I got actually some pretty fun stuff that's going to be coming out on LinkedIn over the next few months. So I'd love to connect with people on there.
Do we ever get any hint on that, or?
I'm moving to a new office. That'll be part of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Will there be Savannah bananas there?
You know, that would be cool. I would love that. I'm gonna see what I can do.
Maybe
I know a guy who's friends with Jesse Cole who founded the Savannah Bananas. So I've been trying to make friends with him so that I can meet Jesse Cole.
Yeah, grand opening, bananas included. You could give out bananas in the process.
There you go.
Well, I just dropped in the comments there Jon's link on LinkedIn also. So if you haven't friended up with him there, reach out, connect, say, hey, I saw you on the Giver Marketing broadcast. Let's talk a little bit about this whole strategy and marketing growth stuff. You just never know where the fun might go to. So we love partners, collaborations, and I love that you're helping agencies step forward, right? A lot of times right now, there's so much change, like you said, with the AI space, and the roles are shifting, right? So what we bring to the table isn't just the content. And a lot of times I think that's how businesses look at their marketers as they're creating content for me. But really, it's not the content. It's also the strategy, the process. Yes. And there's a learning curve. If you try and do it on your own, sure, right? But we can only do as much as our talents and skills allow, right? So when someone says, oh, I redid it, and I'm like, with the same skills and talents you did it the first time with. So chances are the second one's probably not looking real good either, right? Yep. So it doesn't hurt to have somebody come in and look at your overall strategy and help bring some clarity to the situation. You might find that there's some bottlenecks in your marketing that somebody can, with an outside, eyes and experience, can come in and take a look and say, oh, wait a minute, here's the problem right here.
Right. Someone said to me, you can't read the label from inside the jar. And I think that's really, really true for a lot of people, especially when it comes to their marketing.
Absolutely. That's my excuse on down in the weeds. Sometimes we're too down in the weeds that we can't see everything else around it. All we see is everything right here, right? We need somebody to, even if it's our own business, even if you're a marketer, right? Sometimes it's helpful to have someone else come in and look at your business with fresh eyes. And they'll point out something you're like, oh, why didn't I see that? That's what I tell my clients, but I didn't do it myself. Hello.
Mark, what is it? Accountant's checkbook is never balanced, and a marketer's marketing is never good.
And the cobbler's children have no shoes. I've just
Yep, exactly.
So yeah, if you want to, kind of have some fun with other marketers, giver marketing is a great space to play in.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your last chance. Go ahead and scan that code right there if you wanted to find out more about that. Do we have any more slides?
No, I don't think
Is that it? We reached the end? Okay. Just didn't want to make sure we weren't cutting anything off. Okay.
Nope,
This
we're
is it. Scan it now. 3, 2, 1. I'm pulling it off. There we go. So yeah, if you're wanting to play with other marketers, we've got a whole organization. Gosh, I think we're up to like 150 marketers in there now in the Giver Marketing Network. So it's a great place to kind of get to know other marketers. You are not meant to be a solopreneur. If you're going to be a solopreneur ever, you're not going to grow your business. You're not going to be able to scale your business. You are not meant to do this alone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is teamwork at its best. And it's a fun group we have in there. Nice, friendly people.
They're all good people.
They are. I might be a bit biased as the team director, but I actually chose that role. So there's a reason why, because they're good people. So
well, I'm just a member, and I think they're all great. So don't know if that helps.
There you go. See, so if this is something that you're like, you know what, I don't want to be a solopreneur anymore. I want to, grow and thrive and team up with other marketers. Come hang out with us on Wednesdays. And actually, we should probably send that up for a banner. Here we go. All right. Wednesdays, we have networking for marketers. So if you're a marketer, if you're in the PR space, if you are in the media space, anything in that kind of playground, come hang out with us. On Wednesdays, we meet at 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 Eastern, or 10 o'clock if you're in Texas like me. But come hang out with us and get to know some of the other marketers. We bring some interesting conversations to the table. Sometimes we're talking about latest tech. Sometimes we're talking about some strategies. You just never know what we're going to do. We have fun together. So don't be a lonelypreneur. Come hang out. givermarketing.com/networking. Register once, save the link, and come hang out with us. That's every Wednesday. And then Tuesdays, of course, is our Tuesday marketing broadcast. And Jon, oh my goodness, you blew me away again. I'm telling you, every time we have you on the show, that's it. So now we've got 2 added 2 that you've blown me away with. Do we have another secret one in there somewhere that you're going to come back with?
We do, and it'll be tied to my book, but that'll be later.
When's your book coming out?
I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay. We're going to bring him back on for that one. I'm just saying, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what he comes up with, because everything he's done so far just makes sense, right? So this is it. We need marketing that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not just shiny bells and whistles, right?
Marketing that makes sense. I need to go see if that domain's available.
It's true though, right? So I'm looking forward to it. We'll have you back on the show again. You're welcome anytime. Come in and play with us. All right.
Sounds good. Thanks, Christine.
All right. Thanks, y'all, for joining us for another Tuesday marketing broadcast with Giver Marketing Network. And we will see you soon. Thank you.
Bye.